Corduroy is a bear who once lived in the toy department of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all the other animals and dolls for somebody to come along and take him home. But the store was always filled with shoppers, buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in blue overalls. Then one morning, a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes.
Mommy, look, there's the bear I've always wanted.
It's got a button missing on its shoulder strap.
Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away.
I didn't know I was missing a button. Tonight, I'll try to find it.
Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and all the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. Suddenly, he felt the floor moving under him. Quite by accident, he had stepped onto an escalator, and up he went.
Could this be a mountain? I've always wanted to climb a mountain.
He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor. And there before his eyes was the most amazing sight. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds.
This must be a palace. I've always wanted to live in a palace.
He wandered around admiring the furniture.
This must be a bed. I've always wanted to sleep in a bed.
And up he crawled onto a large, thick mattress. All at once, he saw something small and round.
This must be my button.
And he tried to pick it up, but like all the other buttons on the mattresses, it was tied down tight. He yanked and pulled with both paws until pop! Off came the button, bang into a floor lamp. Over it fell with a crash. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchwoman was going her rounds on the floor above. When she heard the crash, she came dashing down the escalator.
Now, how in the world did that? Someone must be hiding around here.
She flashed her light under and over sofas and beds until she came to the biggest bed of all. And there she saw two fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the covers.
Hello. How did you get up here?
The watchwoman tucked Corduroy under her arm and carried him down the escalator. She set him on the shelf in the toy department with the other animals and dolls. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store in the morning. And there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen only the day before.
Hi, I'm Lisa, and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night, I kind of wanted to save to my piggy bank, and my mother said I could take you home.
Shall I put him in a box for you?
No, thank you.
All right.
And she carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment, and then she goes straight into her room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed, just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store.
This must be a home. I've always wanted a home.
Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls.
I like you the way you are, but you'll be much more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened. You must be a friend. I've always wanted a friend. Me too.